My guests are Sue McCallum and Larry Bocciaro. They're with the Brunswick Little Theater, and they're here today to tell us about a great upcoming production called I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. Sue and Larry, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay. Sue, we'll begin with you. Tell us just a little bit about the show.
Well, the show is presented with special arrangement with R&H Theatricals in New York, and it is produced under the auspices of Brunswick Little Theater. And we are just very excited about the show. I Love You, You're Perfect is probably my favorite off-Broadway musical because it's a throwback to the days of almost a vaudeville, but the comedy review. The thing that's special about it, though, it has the element of a story of romantic couples, and so it's not only song and a little bit of dance movement, but sketches and skits that are hilarious. And I think that I'd like to ask Larry Bocciaro, who is our assistant director, to tell us a little bit more of the specifics of the show.
So it's fast-paced, it's a musical, it's a comedy, and Larry, you're on.
Well, it takes us through life, from early dating through senior dating, and it's comical, and it's tear-jerking, and it's something that everyone can relate to, because at some time or another in everyone's life, or most people's lives, they have experienced the things that they're going to see in this production.
So as I understand it, it's a series of vignettes with a relatively small cast playing a number of different roles. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct. And what we looked for is people that can move well, have excellent voices, and can play multiple characters, because we have 6 characters playing multiple roles with multiple partners. And we've created a very nice blend. And we have people with comic instincts who are very fine actresses and musical comedy adults.
And we're going to hear some music from your production a little later in the show. You're both directing the show. Larry, tell us a little bit about your experience in directing.
Okay. Well, I've directed some plays before, and the biggest thing in directing is understanding what your characters can do. Now, we're not big-time New York production here. This is volunteers. These are people who do other things for a living,
sure,
who like to be in a program such as this. So it is our job to recognize what the strong points and the weak points are in each character that we cast for this a particular show such as this.
Sure.
So, and once we recognize those traits, we have to match them up with certain characters that will fit and give them the best possible chance at a successful show. So that's just the basic challenge of a director on this kind of a setting.
Sue, we want our audience to know the time and place of the production. Tell us more about that.
Yes, the production takes place on February 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, which is right after Valentine's Day. Perfect time for a show about romance. And the following weekend on March 1st and 2nd, and it's going to take place at the Brunswick Center at Southport, which is in Smithville Crossing. And this is actually the first theatrical performance, full length, that's going to be done. And since it's a comedy review, it fits very nicely into the facility we're going to be performing in.
How will adults really appreciate the show? We've spoken a little bit about it, but tell us some more.
Well, and I'll start, and Larry has several things I'm sure he'd like to add. But because it's a roller coaster ride and a joyful ride through life with fights, makeups, breakups, and getting back together again, it tells about love's resiliency. And everybody of all ages, really, it's an adult comedy, but everybody really can identify with that, the yin and the yang of coupledom.
I'm sure. Larry, any other thoughts?
Yeah, every scene in this show is a separate entity. So your attention is on this one scene, which might be 5 minutes long, it might be 8 minutes long, it might be 3 minutes long. But when you put all these little segments together, it's a journey through life. And and everyone can relate to either one part or another, and through their own experiences in their own lifetime. And so it really doesn't matter how old you are. Sue's right, it is an adult comedy. So it really doesn't matter if you're a young adult or an old adult, you're going to find something in there that's, that you can relate to.
Larry, I know you have some lively music in your show. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, we have a music director who is fantastic with music and just great with people, trying to portray what they're supposed to be doing. And her name is Barbara Berry, and she's excellent at music direction. She's done it before. She's done it most of her career. And she's doing it for us. We're delighted to have her do it for us.
I know our viewing audience will have a delightful time. We'll repeat the dates on screen. And we thank you, Sue McCallum and Larry Bocciaro, for being with us.
Thanks so much,
Jim.
Jim.
It's a pleasure.